hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You may be arrested and/or subject to other police the use of riot control agents, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain.
Back. I have no idea what happened. This program acted like everything was all fine and dandy, but nothing was coming through. So
I blame the wall, man.
Trump's trying to build a wall around our fucking live stream.
Watch for being shadow banned. Streams are banned.
All right, let's just chalk this up to a government cyber attack on our show and on with the day. So, and Fights Back episode 3, take 3. Go.
Why is Prism calling me from another?
I'm getting called from something else, then, guys. What do we do?
Hold on, I'll send him the link.
Yeah, he's calling us from the wrong chat room.
We're not on the wrong one, are we?
Yeah, Google Voice or Google Hangout and make its own little chat of a call after it. I don't know, it's weird. But they're send him the link, he can join in. So I honestly have no idea what our viewers were able to catch on before the everything went to shit. But I guess we'll just kind of continue from where we left off. I don't want to talk about the fucking wall again. Like the third time.
It's caused us so months tonight.
All right.
It has.
Let's talk
Why
about.
don't we can do Trump's. We can move on to Trump's power grab.
Sure, let's jump on that. And I was talking to a guy today. I was out doing some stuff. When you see guys like this jump into power, you usually see a big fall in any country. We've seen it time and time again throughout history. The stuff that Trump is doing right now, believe it or not, the previous administration were going to jump on it. Like I said, these people are just it doesn't matter who's in fucking office. You're going to get the same fucking results. Now the outcomes might be a little different, but you're probably going to end up with a similar picture.
Yeah, man, they put people in power
for the call after
they need.
Where we left off. I don't want to talk about the fucking wall again.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Like the third time.
All my devices, my mic was
Hold on 1 second. I'm sure it has. Damn it.
Let's talk about.
We can do Trump's. We can move on to Trump's power grab.
I don't know what happened to my mic.
Sure, let's jump on that. And I was talking to
on every device
guy
I'm on, my
today.
mic isn't working.
No, you're just really an alien, man.
God damn it, stop.
When you see guys like this jump into power,
they're trying to stick the comments up there, and it's fucking.
I see it. It's floating around.
Well, it's playing the video, and I'm pretty sure it's doing the audio loop.
but anyway, talking about that,
Yeah,
that
fuck. Hold
flight
on, I
ban.
gotta fucking
It doesn't
kill
matter
this.
who's in fucking office. You're
And
gonna get
it's
the
like
same
frozen
fucking
up, so
results.
it's gonna make a
Now the
fucking audio
outcomes might be
loop.
a little
Jesus
different.
Christ. There we go. Okay, so you guys can continue. I got that stop.
Oh yeah.
Sorry
So
about that.
this flight ban that you were seeing, with Trump, with the new executive orders. If anybody paid attention to what the previous administration was saying, Obama had plans for that as well. And like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like who's in power. I get the same fucking shit, and unfortunately, you know, this is not, this during an active or what they call a conflict is not the first time that America has done this. And there are instances, and they don't teach this much in your history books, where they deterred people from war-torn countries.
Well, it was under the Clinton administration that they took the 8-year-old little boy and had SWAT run up on him and go forcefully deport him. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't believe in this kind of shit. I don't. It's the government has way too much fucking power. They don't honestly. I don't know. I'm anti-government, so maybe I have a biased view of everything.
Well, while you're mentioning the word government, you might actually want to enlighten those that don't know. Gouvernemente means to control the mind. That's where the word comes from.
Well, yeah. I don't. How should I say this? We have certain inalienable rights, right? Here in this country, and these are God-given rights. Okay.
Yeah.
But the world that we live in and the laws that are implied on us are restricting us from all of that. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're not wrong.
No, that's right. Completely right.
I mean, it seems like every day they take something else away from us. Tell us there's something else.
I think they want us to revolt against them so that they can try and bring in martial law. I think that's what they want. I
totally back in. Sorry, Mr. E, I'm going to put you on blast here, but he has some good stuff to say, and what he's saying is that martial law is. I buy into this, He's, what he was saying is that, Trump was put in office as a crazy motherfucker, okay, to instill these reactions into the public.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's how. Well, they took the most racist guy they could think of as president of the country.
And then he was also saying stuff like, some of these protesters were paid, and other people buying in. All the elites plan to enforce martial law and to establish what we know is further plan for their new world order. And it sounds kind of obscure, but if you've seen some of the stuff, sides of the coin, and manipulate both sides to the point where nobody's going on, I buy into that.
Well, it's the same thing they done with President Bush.
Yeah,
Look, he's the most retarded person to be put in there, and he showed it to you. You get on that horse, you got to ride it. I mean, he couldn't even think of the simple expressions that he grew up listening to. And America played off of that. And a lot of people loved him for it, and a lot of people hated it for him. But at the end of the day, they were so wrapped up in the puppet show, nobody woke up. And I think that's the same thing with Trump. You got people loving him, you got people hating him, and they're so wrapped up in that dog and pony show that they're not going to open their eyes and see what's happening behind the veil.
Guys, do any of you have any theories about the Georgia Guidestones and what happened with Ebola? I mean, it was meant to kill everyone, and then it just completely vanished.
Oh, I love that one. That isn't that is tied. It is basically a set of laws or rules that have been written, and this is part of the globalist agenda where they want to install depopulation into effect. Now, here's the part. Like I thought for a long time, I always thought that the depopulation was kind of like bullshit till I learned about the Georgia Guidestones. And remember with the H1N1 virus, they were making a big shit show about it, and there was this lady who worked for the CDC saying that they were testing some shit on it was through the nasal swabs that they were testing something, and she actually quit her job.
Well, see, that all ties into eugenics, and it all ties back into Agenda 21. And eugenics is what started Planned Parenthood. So it's all about the sterilization and depopulation of the country, not only the country, but the world, along with dumbing down society so they don't know what's happening.
Well, that comes back to the martial law question. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, they want us to revolt or they want us to do this or that so they can call martial law. I really feel like at this point in time that, like, you know, say they were to just right now, it just came on the news, nationwide martial law because, you know, Trump's a dictator. Fuck it. And it's not going to work, man. They don't have the forces here in America to enforce that at this point in time. They, like, these large protests that are happening in the streets, if they were to turn into full-blown rebellion, they couldn't stop them. There's no way they could stop. Even in the city, they would have to...
Federal takeover of the local police. I apologize for stepping on you, but that's why they've done all the federal takeover of the local police. That's why they've been arming them up with military-grade weapons and military-grade vehicles and everything, so that if it does turn protest to full-out rebellion, that they can have a fighting chance and they can stay inside of something bulletproof and all of that. They can have a better chance to subdue the crowds.
Oh yeah, they've definitely given them the upper hand for sure. I mean,
Ed, do you think, Ed, you know, like all the cases in the West now, do you think that was false flag, or do you believe it was real?
Oh, Ebola was very real. I think that they traced it back to some sort of bat, but how it jumped from how the virus, or was it a bat or was it a monkey? But they were unsure about how the virus had crossed from one species to another. That I do is a little seems like some funny business to me. You know?
Do you know the bit I found strange though? Is the way that they were panicking the world, saying it was going to go pandemic and that, and then there was a complete media blackout. It just ran out.
You know what was really weird is how they found a cure in less than 6 months for that, and Ebola's been around for a while.
They let a load of Africans die first, though, didn't they? Fair play. Depopulate that.
Well, it was devastating to those. What was it? North Africa, right?
Right.
Like once
A lot of people died.
Once that one
Shit.
case of it, coming to America or something like that, they had to quarantine someone. It literally, that's like when they actually started working on it. I feel like they didn't care before that.
Yeah, you might be right about that one.
And it's so crazy how like stuff like that is always on the media and then it just stops. Everyone gets tired of it and the media finds something else to focus on.
Well, you know as well as I do, the media is controlled by the elite. You know, it's all...
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that's why I always tell people to stop turning on your TV. And oh yeah, this was another subject that we're going to talk about. Fake news.
Smokes and mirrors, man. Smokes and mirrors.
Fake news. Yeah, the fake news shit spawned out of this whole this whole election to the point where I think Facebook had hired these verification companies to determine what is fake news. What is fake news? The fake news is the news you watch.
Right?
That's
Well, I'm
fake.
not too worried about
I don't
Ebola.
even watch news.
You know, a long time ago, I got a vaccination with SARS. You know, my SARS got me. I'm good. I don't need bird flu or anything else. I'm already vaccinated.
Cool, man. Hopefully it's stronger.
Well, the whole thing with the fake news, it's now been turned. I mean, that's something we've been screaming for years. People misspell Fox News as faux news, which fake. We've attacked these media corporations for countless years at this point, and now they're using it because you've got your Fox News, your Republican news, you've got your CNN, and is your Democrat news. The Republican president up there, now he won't take a question from CNN because it's fake news. That man is very well aware that the same person owns CNN and Fox News. Like, it's all, like, if one's fake, the other's fake.
Do you remember when CNN was king as illegal? Did you ever catch that? Yeah, I did. It's illegal information. No, it's the truth, man.
Oh, wait. You're talking about when CNN said looking at WikiLeaks was illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Hackers rule the world, man. They're not even hackers; they're data leaks. They get people from
Oh, guys, have any of you seen the YouTube video with tells Rockefeller to get the fuck out of the country? He says, "Oh, get out my country." He's at the airport.
Oh yeah, that was Chile.
I've seen that.
It was funny.
Well, it's true. It's like when you start seeing these people in your countries, it's saying a big thing.
He's like, "Rockefeller, get out of my country, scumbag."
Hey, if that was me, I'd have had to take one for the team, man. Snap that dude's neck clean off right there.
The funny thing is, like, I'm not even sure if 90% of the world's population even knows who he is.
No, he'd walk by most of them. They wouldn't even know who was there.
That's sad. I could definitely spot him out of a crowd myself.
Right?
So, guys, in your eyes, who do you think is like the head and the elite? Do you think it's Rothschild, or do you think it's the Queen? Because I think it's the Queen myself, personally.
I believe the head starts with the Rothschilds. The Rothschild family spans back in Europe.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like the medieval times and stuff. They have a history of funding countries and wars, and not only funding one side, but funding both sides
of the war.
Both sides of the war at the same time. But what essentially he has is main control or major shareholding of how much of the world's money? It's like it's a majority of it.
They're like trillion billionaires,
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Germany's economy was falling, and he was talking about there was he posted this weird thing on one of his web pages, that they're in unsure territory, and he was investing in more gold.
Yeah.
It was sounding like a back out plan, like screw the central banks. I don't know what's going on.
Bush's like that.
In a lot of comments, I'm probably talking bullshit again.
I have no idea what you said over here. This I don't even know who this is.
This guy Bush, President Bush, his granddad.
Okay, yeah,
funded
that
both
was
sides of the
Donnie.
war.
Yeah, you were cutting out real bad when you were commenting earlier. I couldn't make out what you said.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through better now.
Cool, man. It's probably because I'm far away.
But yeah, go ahead. Repeat what you were saying.
I was just saying that basically the Bush family funded both sides of the war. Like.
Yeah, they're the Bushes are definitely involved in a lot of it.
Well, didn't they have
Hell,
ties?
and
Didn't the Bush family have ties up to the banking family in the Nazi regime, where they were actually funding both sides of the war? And this was back in World War II.
Grandfather had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
hold on, I've actually got a really good book right here. I can pull all that information right now.
Cool, man.
Yeah, there's money in war, and
Oh,
you know,
Tyler. I
a
remember.
ton.
I think his name was Prescott Bush.
Yeah, the
Prescott
military.
Bush.
There's money to be made in wars and stuff, and somebody, every time a bullet's fired, every time a bomb is dropped, somebody's making $1 off of it.
Gay.
What's up, gentlemen? Did we just go dead and quiet, or what's going on here?
I'm
Something.
I don't know.
Man, I just yanked my headset out of my phone and had the mic muted, dropped the phone and everything. I couldn't get it turned back on.
My siblings are yelling in the background. I'm so
All
sorry.
right, so yeah, you're talking about funding both sides of the war, but they're doing this with money that that they're printing out of thin air, and B, with the money that they're taxing from us.
yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, a lot of people don't even understand the fact that every time the Federal Reserve prints a currency note, that we automatically, as citizens, owe the Federal Reserve taxes levied against it. We owe them interest or nothing, or just printing on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, they loan us $100, we owe them 110 back, but there's only $100 out there. Where the fuck does the 10 come from?
Yeah, when you're talking about the Federal Reserve, yes. And then we got also the problem of what's called fractional reserve banking, where the banks can lend out 10 times more than they actually have. Like I was saying the other night, like if you got all the money that should be there and you try to pull it all back, it would never add up.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Like
It's basically like a game of musical chairs where the chairs keep on getting like, you know what I mean? There's never
just
really,
like the game of musical chairs, the chairs keep getting smaller and smaller. It's like, fuck. I mean, if everybody at a branch of a bank walked in together and was like, we need to withdraw all our money, it would be total fucking chaos. They'd be fighting over who gets to withdraw their fucking money because there's not enough.
Well, speaking of which, there was this girl, or guy, I don't know, that was commenting on our page, and I really wish we could have got her on here. And she had a really good idea about having a massive protest against the Federal Reserve, something that I was like trying to spit off with CTW. One of my brainchilds is, if you want to protest the Federal Reserve, I think it's a great idea, honestly.
You're gonna get jail time, though.
Right?
What's the point if we don't make a stand and we don't stand up for what's right in this world?
Yeah.
Then what are we doing? We're anonymous. We
And all these trolls that say don't wear a mask and if you go to the Fed with no Guy Fawkes mask on, you fucked me.
We got pretty close with the Million Mask March, but this was the 4th year in DC, And, they know our main route. We kind of we swing by Monsanto, the Federal Reserve, and then march down to the Capitol, and then by the FBI, then the Capitol, and then come by the Federal Reserve on the other side. So they kind of know where we're going. And we got to the Capitol, they had a shitload of riot cops for us. When we get to the Fed, they had tons of fucking federal agents out there, like Secret Service and shit, just waiting for us to fuck up.
Yeah, Boise was actually nice this year. We actually had a politician at the Capitol building that said that he reserved the day for Guy Fawkes Day and just wanted to say his piece, and then gave the podium over to us. It was pretty nice and peaceful. It was a good demonstration.
Hey guys,
Rose has just joined us.
Hey, you made it.
I did. I wanted to drop in, but I wanted to wait for everybody to stop talking. My name is Rose. I'm anonymous. I wanted to hit a few subjects that I heard you guys talk on tonight, but I wanted to drop a little bit more about what I hear and what we see being passed around on posts about DAPL. So over the last few weeks, we've got lots of reports, basically poisoning at the camps. I've seen a lot of information regarding getting the testing done on the land through the EPA, and the EPA's been hushed. So we've got people getting sick now at camp. It could be possibly poisonings, nosebleeds, different things that are happening and are happening in the dozens. So it's something that we really need to look into as a whole. And that brings me to another point. Right now, there's 2 active GoFundMe accounts. One hit today $250,000 on a GoFundMe, and nobody at DAPL has seen that money. So please, if people are listening, watch where you give your money to.
Yeah, please watch where you're giving your money to, because we've seen in excess of $1 million
Okay.
for someone to go.
Bro,
I don't want to drop
problems
some
with
names,
that.
but there was some shady stuff with some people that you
Yeah.
may have worked with.
You're donating to getting where it needs to go. Make sure those people want to see where my donation.
Well, hey, regards to that, which pages was it that are doing this? Do you have the specific GoFundMe pages?
Yes. What I can actually, we're off the call, I can actually post the links for the GoFundMes. So everything that I will verify, you know what I mean? I will show everybody. Take more than one person. People have actually shut down their walls on their pages. As we see these things popping up, the GoFundMe count, for example, 250,000. We've been watching it for 2 weeks, and they shut down their page. No communication once they've taken your money. The point where I'll return money at Christmas. Well, I want to make sure that in this situation, if the money was meant to go for, it goes to where it's supposed to be going, or it goes back to the people that put the money in. You know.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
anybody who's anybody can put out a go and say it's like to this and that cause. You'll never know, you know.
alright. Hey, Rose, I had something to let you know, and I didn't know if you understood that. Since you brought up the whole poisoning there,
Yes.
before it ever happened, back in March and April, the prairies were poisoned by poison pellets. They ate those prairie dogs. Okay, the bison drink the water that the prairie dogs were laying dead in, and so then a lot of things ended up dying back in the day. Then they took a bunch of the eagles out to the zoo. The people actually at the camps, American Horse and a bunch of kids, they took them all out there and they nursed them back to health and brought them back. Now they're blaming it on a rancher for the poison because
Of course.
make mixed up the wrong amount and then put it all over his land, and then now his bison are dying. Remember all the bison they were saying that the
Yeah.
animals were slaughtered? Okay, not only they mixed up things in those in the actual water cannons that were shot at us, they were testing hot with decon strips out at camps when I was still out there. On top of that, we were seeing from the sky things being dumped out of planes from several different nations while in different action on the crowd of people. So we know for a fact it was never an if or what if or maybe they're doing this to us. We know for a fact it was chemical warfare. We know what chemicals? No.
What
Now,
we need,
That's the thing. Chemicals there would be a way for the people having symptoms. I mean, there's got to be something treatable to help. It's just like that
I
Agent
mean,
Orange
this-
in Vietnam.
This goes far.
You know, and I
This
got a
goes-
last update from the sisters at camp. So it's progressively getting worse. And I'm not real sure, but everybody's like being hushed and sent to the lights. Like they're all wanting them to go and get these evaluations and go.
Has CDC
and all this.
CDC put up?
When you know,
Why
no, they
doesn't
didn't show up. They're telling everybody to go to the CDC.
Jesus.
what we need is we need anybody that's anything in for testing. We need results.
to an independent lab?
Anything that might be sent testing like
But see, that's
People that have sent stuff out to independent labs already, but you got to understand too, chain of evidence can be with if it's at an independent lab. We
True.
went from a campsite where you've got everything everywhere in no civilized manner or whatever you want to call it, and then they're sending it in. And they, well, the envelope that it was in contaminated it, or the plastic
Yep.
on the paper mixed with this chemical and created this reaction. And so now it's transformed into something else. I mean, they're always going to argue it away. But yeah, we have
See-
done that, and there are people that have sent those samples into different places to get them tested. As well as they still did have some decon strips in a warehouse at Sacred Stone while I was still there. So hopefully they're still using those.
And see, the U.S. Army, before they could even start this pipeline, to my understanding, the Army Corps of Engineers, they work with the Environmental Protection Agency when Trump became president, with that topic. But the environmental testing was done before the pipeline even. So they have the records from the Environmental Protection Agency,
Oh, really?
but they won't release it to us. So as the project goes on, the U.S. Army keeps testing it over and over again. But my concern is why was there a hush and why is it not being released?
Because
there's
there's
a
somebody,
huge.
because they know. Yeah.
Because they already poisoned prairie dogs back in
Yep.
April and May. They poisoned the prairie dogs, they poisoned the eagles, and they poisoned the bison. So if there's already poison there, they don't want to show you that. They don't want to show you that they poisoned that land so that the animals wouldn't be there, so that they could say, hey, look, this isn't an animal's home. If you go over in that area, go 50 miles in each direction of Cannonball, North Dakota, and you'll see fields and fields and fields with nothing but fucking prairie dogs. I mean, they're like cockroaches over there. So, I mean, that would have been a big part of the environmental impact statement that would have stopped it right in its tracks.
Do they get any of the lab analysis back from like the independent, anything like that? Like any kind of chemical was floating, names are going around?
that's what we need.
Do we have any test records?
I do.
Does anybody-
That's the thing,
I can call around and see if I have anybody that actually got the analysis back.
Well, I'll put.
Yeah,
I'll
give me a
put.
chemical name. Give me a chemical name and send me in PM and I can
See,
verify
here's
for
the
you.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Legal was trying to take all that over, and legal wanted all of that, and legal wanted all of that. And as you know, what actually happened on the ground when you got arrested up there, they bailed you out of jail, and then you're on your fucking own. They did not provide anybody with attorneys. They did not do it like that. And then Dave Archambault, DAPL Dave, as I like to call him, him and the rest of the Standing Rock Howard tribe decided to go ahead and take all that money and use it for the federal court fight instead of using it for the people that had come there to go ahead and protect the water with them, which is wrong because all that money came in there to protect people that were being arrested, not to fight the big court battle in federal court. So they wanted to do away with that. They got it hush-hush the best they could. And I haven't heard anything out. I know that they worked in Mandan and Bismarck and hotels every night, and they had houses set up with offices and this and that, and people had brand new cars and brand new homes. But you know what? I haven't seen one piece of legal defense actually work for anyone on the ground.
See, and these people with these all the money being raised right now, the 250,000, the other 30,000, which she's claiming anonymous, that's a whole nother fish to fry. These go would be the money that could be used for the lab tests and the bigger things that are needed.
I mean, what about the the 2 semi-loads of bulletproof vests and everything else that Wesley Clark was supposed to come out there with? What about every one of those veterans supposed to be coming out there with their own stuff? I was out there since August, and these guys rolled up there, and they had all this hoopla coming in, fully functioning, didn't need anything. They got there, and they didn't have shit. The next thing we know, our veterans tent looked like a VA homeless shelter. Okay? They took all that we had to be able to give to the people and help the people stay warm and do everything that we needed to do, search and rescue missions, and so on and so forth. And then they took a bunch of photos and patted each other on the back, and then the next week they were gone.
And I heard have they came back again?
All that money that Wesley Clark pulled up, and it never went to the camps. Never.
I'm still in contact with Wesley Clark.
What's that?
I said I'm still in contact with Wesley Clark.
Well, Wesley Clark is a liar and a coward because he told Gabe a direct lie. I pointed my war club at Wesley Clark. I looked directly into his eyes. I looked to him in front of his little formation of these soldiers, and I told him that he tread lightly there and become respectful and do what he needed to do, not be out here just for a show and a pat on the back. Exactly what he was there. He did not do anything. He helped the people there, and he did not follow our plans and what we were trying to do and achieve there. If he had, he would still be there instead of giving Loki some horse. It's a horse manure story of him crawling underneath the fence with a bulletproof vest on and walking all the way back to the casino because he was in fear of his life. That's what he told me. Now that's a lie, and he wouldn't have had to do that if he would have conducted himself with honor.
I believe George was talking about this not too long ago. Am I correct? He had proof that all that what you were saying is true.
And this is all about the money being raised, like all these people, if it was actually going to what it was supposed to, then we wouldn't be in these issues, and that's why these GoFundMes now that are out there, why the money is there, we need to hold them accountable. There's a few.
I apologize, sister. If the money was going where it was supposed to, Kevin Gilbert would have never left camp running and screaming for his life.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking name as far as GoFundMe, whatever. Kevin Gilbert. Don't send any I don't care if little personal security detachment is. They can come to my step and I'll still use my work club on them. That was not right. They came out there to exploit people. It's not to do what they said they were going to do. We really appreciate what you've done, brother. And, I've worked with you a little bit on prayer and stuff. You've been pretty hardcore and done a pretty good job out there. Frontline stuff pretty low.
But there's a lot of people that, and I don't even want that recognition, brother. I love you for it, but there's people that have been there that have frozen their ass on cold nights went a day and a half, 2 days with no sleep and nothing to eat, you'd just be walking around checking on other people. I know a buddy that right now that swam across the river on a piece of styrofoam just to get our boats back. People stole them, you know. We had all those things, and we shouldn't have never needed for anything out there. As much money has been raised, as much money has been thrown at the problem, there should never have been any need out there of especially people saying, hey, I can't get home, or I got a flat tire, or I need this, or I need that. We should have been able to take care of our own. And it saddens me and it hurts so many people are willing to make those GoFundMes and not do the right things with them.
But you know, a lot of us have gone out of our way to make sure that we get there and get back. If
Yes,
we
you
don't,
have.
a lot of us are offering our own homes, our own stuff, and shit like that. You know, I mean, a lot of us are doing what for the people there, but there's also a lot of people that are taken away from or profiting off of the people there.
There are, and that's why there was such a thing with Wesley Clark, and he tried to put it off on somebody else saying, oh, well, I don't have acting. But he did that until after that. But back to the poisoning thing, there are people that are out there right now that are coughing up blood. If you pray, say a little prayer for Prairie, because that's LaDonna's daughter. She's her sister. She's fighting a court case right now, and I don't know if she's stopped coughing up blood yet. And it really hurts to know that she was in action. But a lot of
We
people...
will send our blood for sure.
So I'm just checking the live stream and I see people, you know, talking about here. How about cannabis and what's the other one?
Cannabis and big pharma. Yeah, we can address that. Hold on one second.
You want to talk to Chef IRD?
Yeah, tell.
I had to rip the pipe for this conversation here.
Well, you know the way I see it is cannabis, and my dad. I'm not going to put his name out there, but he works in the medical field, and he has the same view as I do. Is that legalize all the fucking drugs. Some of the shit that we have on I used to work in the medical field at one point. I'm going to go there too. Yeah, I fucked that career up, but but you know what I'm saying? Shit that we have out there. That the pharmaceutical companies make are 10 times worse. And here's the thing is, and even I've seen these posts come up. If the medicine worked, why do we keep on needing it? Like they don't invent cures, they invent Band-Aids.
Yeah,
the thing with medical cannabis, and here's the fucked up shit, right? Is I believe it's Sativex or Marinol is shown to be physically fucking addictive. So the one comes into a pill. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Dronabinol or some shit like that.
I heard of that one.
Synthetic marijuana.
Yeah. Well, that's what they want to do with everything. If they can't take it into a pill or something, they can, so they can market it and it's theirs and they own it and they're making all the money off of it. Then they're not gonna want to fuck with it. I mean, Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say that comes back to what I was telling you guys in the chat earlier. The guy I'm gonna try to get on probably next week with he's found a way to cure cancer using just kale, and there's no pharmaceutical company or the CDC or anything. Nobody wants to fuck with it. because he refuses to sell it off in a way that they're just gonna turn it into another fucking drug.
You know what's really weird is that, you know, when you hear about guys that come up with cancer, they end up dead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
No, I'm serious.
it happens.
Well, like
Scientists, researchers.
this guy I know personally, and I mean, I've witnessed a lot of strange stuff, you know, going on. Like, there definite weird shit going on his phones. Like, he's got 2 different phones, and like they both act like fucking completely crazy. I would definitely say they're probably tapped the fucker.
Wasn't there a cure for cancer from CBD oil? And this was the
CBD
weird.
oil,
No,
yeah.
here was the weird thing. Okay, in fact, I believe back in January, I was reading this on a bunch of websites. Is that the DEA was going to classify CBD oil as a controlled substance? You know, in regards to
I believe they
legalization.
went ahead and did that, and they put it as a Scheduled 1 controlled substance.
But okay, CBD oil is not a mind altering. I mean, yes, it does. It'll make you a little slow. Out of fucking doing a lot of drugs. It'll make you a little fucking right.
It's about like smoking your first cigarette, man.
Yeah,
you get a little buzz.
But if you see the need the skin medication, you know, the kids who have fucking the what is it, the grand mal seizures, and they're life threatening, and you know, they all want to give the fucking phenobarbital and all the anti-convulsants. You know, I mean, that shit doesn't work. You give them a little bit of CBD oil, you give them a little bit of fucking weed, and they're fucking fine. And you know what? Here's the fucking funny part: is weed on the system is so it's not as much other shit that we have. Now, is it a solution, actual cure to the problem?
It's not.
It's here, but it's safer than the stuff that the pharmaceutical companies.
Autism.
It's a natural.
So
It's a natural alternative.
me personally, I found out I had thyroid cancer, and I started using CBD oil every day. And ever since I've been that, I've been feeling a lot better. I still use it to this day, every day. And
Isn't it?
just,
It's right. It's like $400 for a couple of vials, right?
yeah, it's expensive, but it lasts a while. It's easy to take, and you just feel overall better. And it can help heal with stuff. It slows down cancer cells. That's what they're saying, and it's helped a lot. And nobody's heard about it. I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people they just don't know about it. I've had try it, and they're like, "Yeah, I've felt a lot better on this stuff," you know.
So have you guys heard about the new strain of weed that's actually GMO?
Yeah, that's actually not a new strain. It's actually an old. Are you talking about the weed? There was a company out in Oregon when they were farming. They were crossbreeding plants that had low THC and high CBD, and this is where you get a lot of these. The right strains to get the CBD oil out. I mean, essentially, yes, you could get CBD out of any fucking weed plant. Any breed. Fees that they're having are much higher, you know.
Well, now for the recreational getting high end, they're breeding the CBD out of so it's. But a lot of the weed I get to smoke, it's I don't know, maybe 0.06% CBD, almost nothing.
CBD. I mean, I think there's a couple different kinds, but the CBD is essentially that that's like what was I doing?
Yeah, totally. People at work will catch me just just zone it out. Just tired. But it helps with my sleeping too, I usually stay up till, I don't know, 4 in the morning. But if I take a little extra of the CBD oil, I'll be knocked out at 11 already.
It's so mild too. It's not even like smoking like chronic and shit, you know?
Yeah. So easy to take. It's just like just a couple.
Yeah, Tyler, what about, like, you know when you get flu or you get a cold? They give you a remedy, don't they? But it never cures it. You always get flu or a cold. Must make so much pharma companies.
Well, I mean, there's so many medical. I'm hearing some major echoes.
Arthur.
But no, there's so many medical cures for, or there's just so many ailments that marijuana can help with, and there's no reason why it's illegal at all. I've been tested. Almost nobody can OD on this shit. The way how it became illegal in this country is very controversial. Have you ever? Do you ever hear about when they were encouraging farmers around the turn of the century in the U.S. for hemp?
Grow hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they kind of threw the
Yeah,
ball at
but
them,
they
made it
were
illegal, and then
they were
prohibition
making
came
them
in.
grow. But they were making them grow hemp for the war.
Yeah, man.
So that's why it was okay, because it was hemp for the war.
Well, you know the Dutch word canvas actually means cannabis. The Indians in the Santa Maria would have never crossed the ocean unless their ropes were made out of hemp.
Well, marijuana has been for a long time. It's got a lot of cures. I think there's history to it as well. Some of the actually, I've seen the videos. With these kids that have these, seizures, and they give them the CBD oil, and then they don't have the seizures. If you look at some of the side effects on some of the medications that you got to give when they have seizures to the point where death, I'd rather give my kid fucking weed or CBD oil than any of these, barbiturates or anticonvulsants.
No, I agree. I agree. I have 3 children of my own, and when it comes to pharmaceuticals, now that they're teenagers, they always want to shove pills at you and your pharmaceutical companies. And I mean, on the west coast of the United States, you have legalization starting to sprout up, recreational use, and there was a on air, but what the states are allowing us is the opportunity not only to cure ourselves, but to put money back into the economy, and it's affecting us in so many different ways. I mean, you've got people with marijuana charges sitting in jail doing 20 years for a plant. I mean, it's a profit for them, whether it's the taxes or making the GMO crops. It's just capitalism. All they want is more money, 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 money. And eventually it's going to get to the point where people hopefully someday stop money. Get a house with a garden. Don't stress on their stuff, you know what I mean? Because eventually the dollar is going to lose its value.
Yeah, this isn't the only medication that's been controversial. There was a cure for heroin addiction. It's not very well known about, and I know this from being an addict, and you'll hear about this in the underground addict community. A shout out to Erowid, you guys rock. There was the ibogaine plant, and going through this whole fucking withdrawal process of getting on my heroin. There was a lot of research into the psychedelic medical benefits of giving somebody a psychedelic during the detox process. Apparently, they were giving heroin addicts ibogaine. They would trip out for probably like 18 to 24, I think it was like 3 days.
I think it's
And
somewhere between three or somewhere between like 1 and 1.5 days. It's a pretty long and intense trip from.
what they do is they do not feel the physical withdrawals while they're tripping out. Now that might be got a really weird way of heroin withdrawals, but me being an addict and going through it, I'm just being honest with you. I would rather fucking trip out for a couple of days, go through the fucking hell, and to get on the Suboxone and get on the methadone and the gabapentin and the Valium and all the other fucking shit they get. You know what I mean?
Oh god,
Well,
this is
that
garbage.
too,
And
I guess I got some more.
on the topic of CBD, have you seen it on the? Isn't it called Parkinson's? Have you?
Yeah, it's
The
very
effects
effective
on
for
that?
Parkinson's.
Yes.
Yeah, for Parkinson's, they got to give them massive doses of what is it, D2? They got to give themselves it's essentially artificial dopamine. And the problem with Parkinson's is that you got to get some of these people on such high doses of this of levodopa that they actually start hallucinating. I was when I was working in the medical community, this one guy was so fucking high, or he was so fucking looped out on this shit, he actually thought there were fucking snakes in the room.
Wow.
He wasn't high, he was delusional.
I would rather go with
Well, the part that
natural
the detox
substances.
is actually more anything is when you get like that, your brain is manipulating itself to trigger and send you messages that your body is killing itself because it's addicted to something. And so when you take the psychedelic drug, it's pushing your brain to not do those things, so that's why you don't actually feel what's going on, and you feel the effects of the withdrawal and withdrawal from your actual brain.
There's a company, there's a organization out there. I think they're out in Switzerland or the Netherlands or something. They call them the MAPS, and they're doing psychedelic research. Their main two drugs they've been working the last, I think they've been around for like 10 years or 15, 12 years.
They
They
probably
do
about 20 years now.
So yeah, they research the medical benefits of MDMA and LSD. Now, MDMA, I personally think that there might be a limited medical benefits for that. But as far as LSD goes and the intensive psychotherapy that you can get from it, there might be some medical benefits from it. I mean, so at least in the psychology field.
Ketamine's another one. Ketamine has a lot of use in treating depression. One session of ketamine can depression for a month or two.
Ketamine is a weird drug. It's related to a family of drugs called dissociatives. There are a couple of drugs in this family. There's PCP, ketamine, and DXM. The problem with ketamine, and I've done a lot of it, is that it affects this part of your brain called the NMDA receptor, which is essentially responsible for thinking and stuff like that.
I don't know. I only used to do ketamine when I was ending up the rave night.
Yeah, I've never done that one. It sounds like not very much fun.
Well, essentially, like when you do ketamine, it's really weird. Like you do a little bit and you feel a little loose. You do a lot more, and then you start getting this weird sensation that nothing is real. You get delusional. You do a lot more, and you get what's known as you get a K-hole where you're not sure what's really going on. Fun times.
Yeah, not my.
Last time I was barbecuing chicken at 4 a.m. in the dark.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, Anonymous is talking about drugs.
Right. Well, ketamine also has medical benefits for nerve damage repair.
It might.
I haven't looked too deep into the research on that.
There's so many natural things that you can use instead of, like going to the store and getting pills and stuff like that.
Which is really why I wish that one girl would have got on the show today. She's on natural medicines and stuff like that. We were talking about a lot of cures that are out there that a lot of people don't even know about.
I mean, just all kind of various herbs and stuff cures an array of stuff.
Yeah.
the biggest health problems we have, though, come from a bullshit diet of eating genetically modified food, fake food loaded with chemicals, high fructose corn syrup, aspartame,
Preservatives.
all these, Cokes and Red Bulls and stuff loaded with chemicals, and then like 50 fucking grams of sugar. I mean, yeah, have a little bit of sugar, but don't drink a cup full of it. Like, what the fuck?
Why do I got
everyone-
diabetes?
Everybody goes and it's like, give me a Big Mac and some fries that are fried in this GMO oil, and it's just all crap. And
But it's so good.
I don't know. The last time I ate McDonald's, I threw up, and that was it.
Oh no, I don't do McDonald's. No way.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that show? Super Size Me, where he was eating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Month of
Check this shit out.
McDonald's.
So he ate McDonald's every day, 3 times a day. He was vomiting.
Yeah, and so he was sick as fuck.
And so he went to the doctor, right, after like doing this, and his liver was shutting down from eating fucking McDonald's.
Oh, this shit's garbage.
That was insane. I feel a lot better, eating just natural foods. It might be like gross and stuff, but you could always find ways to make it actually taste good.
I don't know. That fake food is way more. The fake food is way more gross than the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You just got to go out there and you got to find the natural stuff that was good that you might like. There's not just broccoli, carrots. Always.
Of everything. I live on a farm. It's just the way we do. You want natural food, grow it yourself. At least then you know where it comes from. Grow some corn. Everybody likes corn. Some potatoes. You can make some mashed potatoes. Fish. Obviously, fish is the best. You want to eat some salmon. It's good for your eyes. It's good for your
Good
skin.
protein, omega-3s.
Yeah, salmon's probably my favorite fish to eat. I love that
God,
shit.
you gotta have it.
It's nice out. You just go for a walk, go for a bike ride. I ride my bike to work every day. I had a car. I sold my car. I'd rather, ride even if it's below 0.
Not only is it good for you.
I don't know about riding a bike in below 0. Fuck that.
It's
yeah,
not
fuck
too
that.
bad.
Yo, why is my skin purple?
Oh, I can't feel my fingers.
Oh, that's frostbite. That's normal.
It just fell off down the road.
People need to just go out there, get some exercise,
Right, go for a
You'll
jog.
see a dramatic change in how you feel. It's good thinking time. It's good for your body. It's